Hi, I'm very excited. My name is Bridget, and we're here with Bridge to Tomorrow. And I'm looking to introduce a very, very dear friend of mine, Colleen Low. I met her with our real estate and sub 2 group with Pace Morby, creative financing and other ways to invest. A lot of different information there.
Yeah, a lot.
Right. It's a lot of information that we have at our disposal. But I'm very excited to have Colleen with us today. She's a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And in our world, we actually have a title of unicorn agent. It's how we kind of name those that are also open to the investors, right? And working and partnering with investors. And so, Colleen, would you give a little introduction about yourself, how you came into real estate?
Yeah. So thank you so much for having me on your show. This is so exciting. I was a teacher. My goal was to be a teacher because I wanted to help kids, but I also wanted to be off when my kids were off. I wanted summers and Christmas break and spring break and everything. And I loved teaching, and some things happened that I ended up leaving teaching. And I was trying to figure out, like, what am I going to do with my life? And I wasn't sure what I was going to do with my life. And so I went to an open house of a top realtor, and I told them I was thinking about real estate or doing pharmaceutical sales or, just different things. And they spent like 20 or 30 minutes talking me out of, like, oh, you shouldn't get into real estate. There's so many realtors. This is the numbers, and it's so competitive. And, and I didn't see myself, because someone had told me I should sell real estate. I'm like, oh, I could never sell anything to anyone. It's so funny how we view ourselves versus how other people view us. And it's so funny is I got in the car and I called John immediately. And I said,
And John is who?
oh, John's my husband, John Lowe. So, and we work together now in real estate, which is awesome. But anyway, I got in the car. So this is like in the summer. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, right? I know for sure. I've already told him I'm not coming back as a full-time teacher. I'm just going to substitute and while I figure out what I'm going to do. And my best friend was in real estate, one of my good friends, and she had told me, Colleen, you would kill this. You would be really good at it. And I'm like, I could never sell anything to anyone. That's really what I thought, right? And then when this realtor spent all this time talking me out of it, right? Like, oh, no, you shouldn't do this, right? It's just a horrible idea, right? I got in the car and I thought, why would she spend so much time trying to talk me out of it, right? This is here in our neighborhood, right? And it's because she thought I was a threat. She saw something in myself that I didn't see, right? And she must have thought, oh, I'm going to be good at it, so I don't want her to do it. And so I called John and I just said, hey, I decided what I'm going to do with my life. Oh, real estate.
This is wonderful. So this was reassuring to you that there was more of a threat.
Yeah. And so that's how I got started. I started taking classes at night. I substituted until I got my license, right? And we had 3 young kids at the time. And I, oh my gosh, wait. Anyway, so I, 3 kids, and I was like, so I started real estate. I worked 3 days a week substituting, and I did real estate 3 days a week. And then until I got my first deal, and then I started cutting back on doing teaching. And then I went full time, and I've been selling real estate for 20 years now.
Oh,
Yeah, it's nice, crazy. Yeah. And I think the thing that really interests me now, though, is investing in real estate and having financial freedom. And teaching, especially women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, women over 40, could be men too, but teaching them to have financial freedom and to like draw a line in the sand, because I feel like most people are going to work until they die. Most companies don't have retirement plans now. A lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. And I'm very passionate about empowering women, especially in that feel like maybe it's too late for them. And like they were a single mom and they got divorced, or they just, they work paycheck to paycheck, just trying to make ends meet. And now they're like, oh crap, I sacrificed everything for my kids. And, what was I going to say? Oh, they sacrificed everything for their family. And so then they're going to work until they die. And so my goal is to share my path, because I'm 56 years old and I don't have a retirement plan. I helped a lot of other people build a lot of wealth on their journey. And I help people build wealth, by helping them find really good deals and making money. But I have not invested in real estate myself up until this point. And so that's how I ended up meeting you, was because I was looking for creative solutions to investing in real estate. And so I met Pace in Las Vegas at the Clever Investor Summit, and I didn't really quite understand what he did. And Pace is I would say, the leading person that does creative finance for real estate, where he teaches you how to buy it subject to and without very little money or other people's money. And he had a really good heart, and I could tell he was a good person. And so I signed up for his group.
And had you heard of him outside of none of the social media, which he has a massive
I didn't know who he was. Never heard of him before in my life. I really believe you should listen to your intuition and to your inner voice. I felt like I should I saw an advertisement for the Clever Investor Summit on Facebook. And that voice in my head, God, spirit, intuition, whatever you call it, said you should go to that. And so I wrote it down in my, note to-do list, but I never got around to signing up to go to the thing, to the event. And then when I remembered that I saw another ad for it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to sign up for that. So I sat down to sign up for it really quick, and it was all sold out. I'm like, oh crap, right? And so I sent a message to the guy who was in charge of it, and just said, I really wanted to come. I see it's sold out. Do you ever take volunteers? And he's,
I'm gonna find a way.
Yeah, I like that. He said, oh, my mom's in charge of volunteers. I think they might be full already, but here's her email. You should reach out to her. So I emailed her, and she said, oh, today's the day I'm ordering the t-shirts for the volunteers, and we're all full already. But if you wouldn't mind being like the gopher person that just like 20 million people might be telling you what to do, is your personality going to be able to handle that? And you're going to have to come the day before, and he'll set up this, set up the whole thing and put boxes and move chairs, and, there'll be some heavy lifting. So it would just be the regular volunteer team. You'd come a day early and help set up. And I said, oh yeah, I'm all in. Everyone can tell me what to do. I'm great. I can take initiative, but I can also be, I'm a great follower. I'll take direction, no problem. So, okay, great. Let me know your shirt size and we're good to go, right? So anyway, then she wanted you to introduce, this is why you have to be creative. And so she said, anyway, this is a long story. We don't need all the details on that. The bottom line is they ended up promoting me to be the greeter. They said, oh, I think we're underutilizing your skill set, because they had a little community group, a Facebook group for all the volunteers. And so I posted a video and commented and stuff. She said, I think we should have you be the face of the Clever Investor Summit. So I was a volunteer. I was the first person you saw when you came in, but I still already bought my plane ticket to come the day before. So I was there the day before, and I said, I'll just come help, right? And that's where I met Pace. Pace showed up with Jamil. I didn't know who Jamil was either. And he had a camera crew. There was a camera crew in him. And he said, hi, welcome to Clever Investor. And it's, very nice. And anyway, the next morning, though, I was down in the lobby of the MGM at 6:30. And Pace came in by himself, no crew, and he went in and he said, hi, Colleen, how are you? And I was like, oh, crap, what was that guy's name again? They're going to go to the road. Man, I could freak out right now. As I didn't say anything, though. I just leaned my eyes and run and sent him on his way. But he had like half the room, 2,000 people in the room. There were 4,000 people there approximately. Anyway, he was just, I didn't understand gratitude. Yeah, I really could tell he was a good person and a good heart and had integrity, which integrity is so important to me. And he had a good heart, and that's really important to me. And so I had some people explain to me, what is he talking about? What is he doing? And I ended up, it was later because I had ended up having some health challenges, but I ended up signing up. John and I signed up for the Sub 2 program. And then I started learning about it and got to go to Montana with them. And I just feel like that it's never too late for any of us to say, it's time for me to live the life I'm meant to live and to take control of my financial future. So that's how I got associated with it. And then to go to Montana.
Yeah.
So he had a contest.
Yes.
Pace posted that you could go to Montana and you had to win a trip. It's going to pick 20 people to go to Montana with him. And you had to be the most active and contribute. And I thought, I'm brand new. I don't know how I can contribute, right? Like, I do vision board parties for my clients. All my business comes from referral at this point. But we host events, for our clients. I'm like, I'll do one for the Sub 2 community. So I invited the Sub 2 community here to the house.
I was one of them.
And you came.
I did.
And I met you, and that's how I kind of got enmeshed in this in our Sub 2 community. And I just love being part of this community. I feel like there's the best people in this group, and I like how Pace fosters everyone helping each other. And I started door knocking with Jen, who's the queen closer, and just taking steps. So I'm on my journey to acquire you all through real estate financial freedom. And then I'm going to document my journey.
Yes.
And then teach other people to do it.
And I love that your approach is to not limit us in our thinking, right? That no matter how old, what age we are, it's our own belief that we cannot have the wealth, have financial freedom. And no one really helps us understand that's a belief, and it is a false belief. And it's hard. And I love that you want to encourage women, and it's, age is important, especially as we get older, right? There's just that, again, kind of that, the self-talk. We would never talk to our friends that way, but we will tell ourselves that we're not good enough, or we may have those thoughts that it's not for me. It wasn't in my cards.
Yeah, that's not in my cards, or it's too late, or that ship has sailed.
Exactly.
I'm not smart enough. I don't know enough about real estate.
Where do you think you from your own, growing up and your background, where do you think you got that courage or that kind of, mindset that I'm going to find a way? Where do you think that comes from?
So when I was a kid, my dad always said, you can do anything, right? My dad grew up, and accomplished a lot of his goals. And he always said, you can do anything. And but my parents, became successful, but they wouldn't buy you so we lived in a really nice neighborhood, but my parents didn't believe in having cute clothes or cute cars anyway, so I didn't, but everywhere, all the kids that I went to school with, their parents bought them cute clothes. And anyway, I really wanted that. I think looking back, I really didn't like to have to wear the ugly clothes I had to wear. And so I started doing other people's chores for them, or babysitting, and just making money so I could start buying the stuff that I wanted. And I wanted the Schementifers. If you're old, you'll remember what Schementifer jeans were. And they were very popular, but they were very expensive. And it's just, I started realizing. And then I went to a lot of proms. I was very social in high school there. I don't want to say I wasn't really popular, but I had a lot of friends that went to 7 or 8 proms or dances.
Yeah, you
had a lot of fun.
Social.
And so we would raise money, do car washes or clean people's house or babysit or get jobs to raise money to get a limo. I couldn't just afford a limo, right? So we'd get a limo, or just over time, just little things. I think that comes from. And then I think self-confidence comes from the doing of it. I think that when you keep your promises to yourself and you really believe that you can do something, and then you execute on it, and I really believe that we're all capable of much more than we think we are. And we're all living below where we should be. And so I really believe that if you believe it, just like our daughter got engaged, and I wanted to have a really nice wedding for her. And we didn't really have the money for it. And so I decided I was going to make an extra $50,000 in a 3-month period to pay for the wedding. And I called all the vendors and got it all set up that I could make payments to them. And I told them I'd have the money before the wedding. And 3 months, right? Months. And in 3 months, I did it. Yeah, the only person, because she wanted this really expensive photographer, and he said he would take payments, but I needed to give him a huge chunk with it up front. They didn't have a chunk. And what's interesting is, the retainer saying, yeah. And he only had one day available. Like, we had to move the wedding 1 week off, to accommodate him. Yeah. And the wedding turned out great. It really did. My first 3 escrows canceled too in the middle of the process of the getting the money. And I just kept moving forward, and we paid cash for the whole wedding, and it turned out really nice. But I just feel like when you have determination and courage coupled with being willing to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes, I just feel like anyone can do anything. And I think we just have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I love that.
I love that, because in the uncomfortable, you grow. And that growth, look at today and, the things that you've accomplished, kind of not having fear, where I think that might be crippling for others, right? And just to think that you can do things that, require you to get a little bit out of the uncomfortable, get out of the comfortable zone, because we can be comfortable and not push ourselves to new places, right?
There's no growth there. And your goals, everything you want, is on the other side of fear. I think fear is real, and I think you just, I think we all experience fear. It's just what you do with it, right? You can feel the fear, but if you let that immobilize you and you don't do anything and you don't move forward into your life, then I think you're going to live with a lot of regret. I do believe, I have a few sayings, like I tell myself every day after I thank God for waking up and having the breath of life in me, that a lot of people didn't wake up today. And I feel like first thing I do is thank God for waking up. And then I say to myself, miracles are my normal and everything is working out for me. And I think that miracles are my normal and everything's working out for me is setting the expectation that I'm expecting miracles, I'm recognizing them, and that everything's going to work out. And I think that doesn't mean I have had an easy life, right? I've had a lot of opportunities to grow, is what I call them. And I think when there are opportunities to grow, and those things can shape us. But when we get clarity, I think we need clarity on what we want in our lives. That's why vision boards are. I actually have an ideal life movie that I watch almost every day. I don't say I watch it every day because I don't. But I watch it a lot. And then I actually expect and appreciate. I close my eyes. People call this woo-woo or whatever. I think if you close your eyes and visualize how good it feels and appreciate already having those things in your life as if they've already are real to you, then because your subconscious doesn't know the difference between your imagination. And so I think so many people use their imagination against them. They beat themselves up and replay and rehash everything that went wrong in their life and how it went wrong. And I think that if you can use your imagination to co-create the life you want and the life you would love, wouldn't that be better? And so that's why I think journaling and looking, focusing on how to want your life to be, spend time having fun. Like when you were a kid, you thought everything was possible, and somehow society has taken and stripped that away from us. And we need to get back to that childlike awe and wonder and really just believe that anything's possible.
Right. I love it. Those are nuggets. I heard so many nuggets. I don't even know where to go because there are so many there. But yeah, I love that. I think for anybody who is watching, any one of our lives, we can all share that there are challenges. We all are carrying some sort of cross. There is something that everyone that, we may not talk about, we may not share these things with other people, but every single person that we come in contact with has something that they're struggling with.
No one escapes.
No. And it's just, how do we work through it? How do we, either find right people to be around to help us through that, prayer or faith, whatever that is for somebody, right? We'll be able to work through that and know that it's part of life and
Just part of our growth.
yes.
There is no growth. I really think that those are the defining moments of my life, are the hard times, right? I've had a kid with cancer. I've had a kid that struggled with drug addiction. We've had severe financial problems in our house. We've had severe marital problems based on all that stuff. I think that we get to decide, right? In all these moments, we get to decide. I do think that you should maybe have a pity party and have a good cry. I don't think we should ignore these bad things that happen or are not bad. I do call them opportunities to grow, but they're perceived bad. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you've had so many bad things happen in your life. I don't really see them as bad things. I see them as opportunities to grow. And my kids have taught me a lot. All those experiences have taught me a lot. And the person I am today is so resilient. And God willing, I'm going to accomplish all these things as long as I have enough time left on earth to make them happen, right? And I do believe that today it's easier to become the person you would like to become than it's ever been before because of social media. You can DM anyone and you can become friends with anyone. And especially if you add value and you have a good heart and you're genuine and you're actually taking the imperfect action, I feel like the universe rewards the action takers, and people who take action. Other action takers will help you that are further along the path than you are. And I feel like it's easier with YouTube and social media to have access to information to help you along your path. That's easier than it ever was before.
Yeah, absolutely. So how, Colleen, would somebody would want to get in touch with you? How could they, reach out? Whether it's for on the retail side of investing, or whether it's some insight from, as an investor, how could our viewers get in touch with you?
Well, you guys can follow me on my YouTube channel called Born to Be Brave with Colleen Low. I would love for you guys to like and subscribe. And I'm on Instagram as Colleen Low _. And my cell phone number is 562-221-7744. And my email is Colleen@iwasborntobebrave.com. All spelled out. So any of those are, any way you can get a hold of me. I would love to talk to anybody, especially about mindset, real estate, investing in real estate later in life. I'm happy to help you put a plan together and get you in community to build your portfolio. And can you imagine if you bought 1 or 2 more houses, 3 houses in the next 5 to 10 years, how different your life will be for the next 30, 40 years?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be big. You don't have to do, a million things. That's it. Just small things anyway.
Small things turn into big
Right?
results.
Over time.
The sooner you start,
The better.
the better.
Yeah.